Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you will receive alerts when there are new episodes. Go get it.
Yeah. Listen, success is whatever you make it. If you want to be happy, you want to provide for your family.
Live.
You gotta put that work in, man. You gotta go get
Learn.
it. See, listen, this is what I tell them.
Serve.
I've been grinding for so long, I wake up and chase my goals.
Inspire.
I go out and I go get it. How to go,
You're in the
that's
right
all I know. I
place.
don't
You're
succeed
checking
if I
out
don't breathe.
Chip
Success,
Baker,
what does it
the
mean?
Success
If I
Chronicles.
conquer all my goals, then I'm living out my dream. Dig deep, go out and get it. Success Chronicles. Compete until it's finished. Success Chronicles.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Chip Baker coming to you with another episode of the Success Chronicles. And today we have Coach Willie Fritz with us. And Coach Fritz has, been at several places, coached at some amazing places, achieved some
I can't
amazing.
hold a job.
That's because you're so good, Coach. That's what it is. And we were fortunate enough to coach one of the same guys that played for him at Sam Houston, and that's how we were able to connect to do this interview. He's currently at Tulane. And so, first off, I want to say, Coach, thank you so much for taking the time to interview with the Success Chronicles.
You betcha. Appreciate you having me on.
All righty. Well, let's talk about your life story, Coach. You know, where you're from and how you grew up, and kind of track us up until now, if you don't mind.
I moved around a lot when I was a kid. My father was a athletic administrator. He's actually a football coach, and he got into athletic administration. He's an athletic director at Bemidji State, where I was born, up in Minnesota, and then moved to Macomb, Illinois. He's the AD at Western Illinois University, and then moved to Buffalo, New York. He was the athletic director at University of Buffalo, and then we moved to Kansas City, and I was he was the executive director of the NAI, and I went to high school there. And I went to a small school called Pittsburgh State University in southeast Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
My head coach there was a guy named Ron Randleman. And Coach Randleman took the head coaching job down at Sam Houston State University. And after I got done getting my degree, I went down and was a graduate assistant for coach at Sam Houston for a couple of years. And I actually coached at Willis. I was an elementary PE teacher at Willis in 1986 and coached varsity football there. And then I went to a place called Coffeyville Community College, Kansas. Won a national championship in 90. Coached a bunch of really, really good players. Quite a few guys went on and played in the NFL. Then I came back to Sam Houston as an assistant for Coach Randleman for 2 years. And then I got my first head coaching gig at Blinn Junior College, 1993. Was there for 4 years. We had a really good run there. And then I went ahead and went up to the University of Central Missouri, which is right near my hometown of Kansas City. Was there for 13 years, kind of a place where I raised my kids. And then I came back down to Sam Houston as head coach in 2010. Was there for 4 years. We had a real good run there. That's where I was with Marquise. He doesn't like the Buki anymore. I don't call him Buki anymore. He got mad at me last time I called him that. But and then I went over to Georgia Southern for a couple of years and took the job at Tulane. So I always knew I wanted to be a coach. I got done playing in college. I wasn't good enough to continue to keep playing at the next level. So I got into coaching and have just enjoyed it every stop that we've been at.
It's awesome, Coach. What are 3 things you accomplished in your life that you're proud of?
Well, number one, I've married a tremendous woman. I've been married for 31 years this summer,
Wow.
and she's moving with me to every place. She's a tremendous football coach's wife, and gets very involved with the families on staff, and also with the players. Probably the second, thing I'm most proud of is I got great kids. I got 3 children. My oldest child is Wes, and Wes is a graduate of Sam Houston. He played basketball there and got his master's degree at Georgia Southern. He works for me in the personnel office here at Tulane. And then he actually went to school with Buki. So they were in college together at the same time, and friends and all that. And then my oldest daughter is a sportscaster down in Houston, Texas. She's on KPRC Channel 2 down in Houston. She went to school with Coach Snead also. And
Laney's doing big things.
Yeah, she's doing well. And my youngest is she's a accounting major at Georgia. So that'd be, I guess, the second thing. And the third thing, I really feel like we've done it the right way every stop we've been at. I think we treat the student athletes well that play for us. And I've been very fortunate. I've been around a bunch of great players, but also a bunch of great coaches.
Good. That's good stuff. What's your definition of success, Coach?
I think everybody's got a little bit different definition, and it changes from year to year. Sometimes you take over a program and, you can't really define it with wins and losses, but, we really try to work, I didn't have a name for it years ago when I started coaching, but we want to be a transformational coach here at Tulane, and when we're at Georgia Southern or Sam Houston or whatever, we want to really try to work on the whole person. And I think if you do that, and the wins will come. But if you're in it just for the wins, I think you've really gotten into this profession for the wrong reason. And it's always neat to see a guy like Buki. I know we're talking an awful lot about him, but you and I both know him well. When you see a guy that comes to you, and I remember recruiting him out of Conroe High School, and now he's a very successful coach, tremendous mentor. I know he's very active in his church, and when you see that, as a coach, that makes you proud. And there's not a day that goes by that I don't talk to one of my former players. I've been doing it a long time, so I've got a lot of them. But, it always makes you feel good. I just hired a guy that as a graduate assistant for us, JT Cleveland. Played with Buki at Sam Houston. And he's going to be a GA for us. So it's fun to have those connections with former players and former coaches and see the success they've had. And I think that's really the true definition of success.
You explained that and you broke that down very nicely, but I want to also, add to that. Not only, Coach, do you say those things, but, through your actions, you've done those things over the years, and so I can say that because, like we talked off camera, there's guys that, that I've worked with that have worked with you, and they say those things about you, or, the several players that I know that played for you, and it's the same thing. And I think when you live a life of that, and it's shown by your actions, and those kids will run through walls for you, brick walls, because they know you care about them.
We're I'm not perfect in any way, shape, or form, and neither of the coaches that work for me. But nowadays, I've been doing this, coaching since, 1982. So I've been doing it a couple of years, and you got to adapt and change. And I don't coach the same way now that I coached, back in the late 80s or the 90s. I used to have a bunch of my players at Glenn who played for me in 93 through 96. They'd come watch us play quite often at Sam Houston. They'd watch us practice at Sam Houston. And we get done with practice at Sam, and I go out and get a bite with these guys. They talk about how soft I became. Coach, you don't get after me. I said, man, if I treat these guys the way I treat you guys, I get thrown in jail. It doesn't fly
Right.
in 2015, 16, 17. So I've changed and part of that's being a parent.
Yes.
My kids participated in sports, and I wanted them to, be treated a certain way as well. And the main thing is just being fair and being consistent.
What do you think it takes to achieve success?
Oh, there's so many things. I just think it's you got to have a tremendous work ethic. I've been fortunate. My dad had an unbelievable work ethic, and that's all I knew growing up. Whether it's digging a ditch or mowing the yard, I knew I was going to do it the best of my ability. And just having that work ethic is important. Being able to have a plan and follow that plan. I'm exit interviewing all my players right now. I do that a couple times a year, and it's amazing to me. I got some guys that are going to be seniors, and they really don't have a specific plan as to what they're going to do the next 30, 40 years of their life. And so I think having a plan is very, very important, and then executing that plan on a daily basis. And then, not forgetting, what you got in this profession for is hopefully, having a positive impact on the student athletes. And we're really into our guys academically. I got one of my coaches. That's all he does is check classes every day. And we want to make sure that every single guy that comes in here leaves with a degree. And if you leave with a degree from Sam Houston, or there's been thousands of people that have been successful from that institution, or Central Missouri, or Georgia Southern, or here at Tulane, you got a chance to really be successful the rest of your life.
Well, there it is. Coach, again, thank you for taking the time to interview with the Success Chronicles. You
betcha. Roll wave.
That's it. Thank you guys for taking the time to watch this episode. We'll see you next time. God bless.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, Coach. Go get